Hello, my name is George Lewis. I'm also known as the Waterman. I belong to the Rotary Club of Lakewood Ranch, Florida, District 6960. Been a Rotarian for about 10 years. Moved to Florida about a year ago. So the first 9 years I was in a Rotary Club in Oregon. What I do is I help put Rotary water projects together. I find host clubs and they have projects, and then I find international clubs to be partners with them. I put them together. I've always thought that life should be an exciting adventure. You should wake up every morning and say, Rotary, thank you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to serve, to help the less fortunate people in my community, and also the less fortunate people around the world. I think most people that join Rotary join for that reason. They really want to serve. They want to do good things. But, a lot of Rotarians are just like ordinary people. They want to do good, but for some reason, they just don't do it. And I think it is because they're in a box. I call it a conformity box. Now, people that are in a conformity box, they don't like change. They don't like to take risk. They fear failure. They don't live a very exciting or rewarding life. But most of them are happy. So I don't have any problem with people that are in a conformity box, because that's what life's all about, being happy. But if you want to soar like an eagle, you got to get out of that box. So that once you get out of that box, you can do wonderful things. You can do the things that you always wanted to do. But in order to do those things, you have to be able to take action on those things that you really want to do. Well, you might say, well, that's easy. I can take action. But in reality, it's not very easy. Let me give you an example. Let's say you go to the doctor and you're 50 pounds overweight. And the doctor says to you, you know what? If you don't lose those 50 pounds, you're going to die. And you say, whoa, wait a minute, I don't want to die. So what do? You say, well, I'm going to go on a diet. I'm going to lose those 50 pounds. And what you do then is you think of all the good things that will happen if you lose that weight. You'll feel better. You'll have more energy, more enthusiasm. You'll have less chance for getting a stroke or diabetes or heart attack. And you'll have a better chance of living a longer life. And with all of these great benefits, why then do most people that go on a diet, they don't lose the weight? And I think it is because they only think of the benefits. And you also have to think about the other side of the equation. And I think the other side is like I call them these rotten, stinking deterrents, the things that want to sabotage what you really want to accomplish. So if you really want to lose weight, you have to give up pasta and desserts, beer, martinis. You got to get on a treadmill for a half hour. You got to walk around a block 20 times. And all diets say you have to drink 8 glasses of water every day. Now, if these deterrents are so strong and they're so hard to do or give up, and they hurt, and they become more powerful than the benefits, guess what happens? You're not going to be able to take action. And without action, nothing happens. So if you really want to take action, you've got to look at those deterrents and beat them with a stick. Get rid of them or minimize them. Let me give you a personal example. A few years ago, 2006 actually, a lady from another Rotary Club came and talked to our club about installing stoves to the poor Mayan Indians in Guatemala. After the meeting, a friend of mine, an 82-year-old Rotarian, said, George, let's do it. Let's go to Guatemala. Let's help these people. So I said, okay. So we went there. Now these Mayan Indians, they live in these shacks in a dirt floor. They put 3 stones on a dirt floor, and then they put the wood on the stones. They light it up to cook, and the room is filled with smoke. Young girls with babies strapped to their backs. They're sucking in this smoke, and you know that the babies are going to get sick, and some of them are going to die. So we installed a stove with a chimney through the roof. And all of a sudden, the room was clear. And one day I was outside and I was putting a stove together. I looked up and here's this girl about 12 years old. She's looking at me. She's got this huge smile on her face. Now I know what she was saying, even though we couldn't communicate. She was saying, "Thank you, Rotary. Thank you for saving my life, saving the life of my brother, my sister, my mama, my papa, all the people in the village. Thank you." Got up off my hands and knees, I went over and I gave her a big hug. And when I broke, I looked in her eyes and she still had that smile on her face. I'm telling you, it was a life-changing event for me. When you do a grant, you have to have a Rotary Club in the country and, of course, a Rotary Club outside the country. And the top Rotary guy happened to be there. His name was Juan Carlos. I went up to Juan Carlos. I said, "Juan Carlos, I'm going to be president of my club in a few months. What can I do for your country?" Without hesitating, he said, "You know, all the drinking water in Guatemala is polluted. And kids are dying. Horrible, horrible deaths. If you can do something to help our country get clean drinking water, that would be wonderful." I said, "I'll do it." I'm flying back to Oregon. And I said, "Whoa, what did I just promise?" Our club was in existence for 50 years. We had never done a World Community Service project. We didn't have any money in our budget. And if I was going to be in charge of doing it, I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know how to do paperwork. I didn't know any of that. Plus, I'm old, and I'm tired. And all these detriments, all these negative thoughts are coming into my mind. But at the same time, I remember that girl's face, and I said, "I'm going to do it." So make a long story short, in a few years, we helped put together maybe 9 or 10 Rotary water projects saving lives. Then I started offering it to other clubs in my district. And then it started getting bigger and better, and I offered it to clubs outside of my district. I would email. I find a district on the internet. I would email the presidents in those clubs. And then one day I get an email from a district governor. I say, "Hey, George, you can't do that. You can't come into our district and solicit my presidents." And I said, I'm not soliciting your president. I'm just offering them a deal. I mean, I'm offering them a good thing so you can do water projects. He said, "Well, we don't like that." Well, then I said, okay, well, it was too late. I already had their names. But then all of a sudden, Rotary changed the rules, and they came up with this pilot program where you only, and I begged the clubs in Guatemala, don't be a pilot, don't be a pilot. But they became a pilot. My club was not a pilot. We couldn't work. I couldn't work with them anymore. I said, "I'm out of business." So just then I got an email, and the person said, "Hey, George, I want to be your friend." I said, "I don't even know you." Well, I throw it in the garbage. A few days later, I get sick of another one. "I want to be your friend." Hey, what is this? I'm popular, but I don't even know you. I threw it in the garbage. When I got the third one, I looked it up, and it was Facebook. I said, "Whoa, this is fantastic. There's millions of people there." All these Rotaries clubs and Rotarians and all this. I said, "I'm back in business." So what I did, I looked up. I went to a country, I don't know why, but India. So I got all the district governor-elects, and I looked them up, and I looked up if they were on Facebook. And the ones that were on Facebook, I emailed them, say, "Hey, you want to be my friend?" And they said, "Yeah, well, I want to be your friend." And I said, "Well, you want to do a water project?" And they said, "Yeah, I want to do a water project." I said, "This is wonderful." So then I found partners for them, and that's what I do. I do that. Now, to make a long story short, in just these few years since 2006, we've helped over 600,000 less fortunate people to have clean drinking water. We work now in 28 different countries. I mean, it's just wonderful. Now, if you want to do it, you besides taking action, you have to do it now. Back in November, I was going to take a physical, and I had to take a blood test. And a few days later, the doctor calls me up and says, "Hey, George, you must feel lousy." I said, "No, I don't feel lousy. I feel great. I play golf 3 times a week. And the days I don't play golf, I walk 2 miles every day with fast pace. I feel great." He said, "Well, you shouldn't feel great. Blood test shows you lost half of your blood." I said, "Whoa. What are we going to do about it?" I said, "Well, we're going to take more tests." I took more tests. He calls me up a few days later. He says, "George, we found out you have colon cancer." So I had to have 1/3 of my colon taken out. Now, I'm not telling you this because to bring you up to date on my physical problems, because I know you don't care about that, but I'm telling you because there's a moral to the story. You know, when you get told you have cancer, your life changes. You think about all the things that you've accomplished, but you also think about all those things you wanted to do, but you never got around to doing them. And you say to yourself, you know what, if I get another chance at life, I'm going to do these things. I'm going to do them bigger and better. But I got to do them now because, you know, the opportunity can be taken away from you at any moment. So I can't wait till next week or next month or next year. I got to do them now. I think if you take that attitude, whether you're 21 years old or 81 years old, your life will be better. You'll be a better person. You'll be a better Rotarian. So now, let me tell you about an exciting new thing that we're doing. We're putting together what we call a Rotary Global Run for Water fundraiser. It's going to be a fundraiser held in September. It will help Rotary clubs around the world to raise money so that they can participate in Rotary water projects. And it will be simple. We leave it up to the club what to do. They can do a 5K, a 10K, a marathon, or they could just do a simple stroll around the park. We don't care. We have a board put together. We only started this a few weeks ago. We have a board put together of so far 9 powerful, passionate Rotarians from all around the world, and it's to raise money. And you know, if you're interested, after the video, you can you know, go onto my Facebook profile and ask me to send you some information. We also have on Facebook where you can like it. You know, Facebook, you like it. It's a Rotary Global Run for Water, and go to it and like it. And we also are going to have hopefully a district champion from each district to help promote this and to organize it and to help motivate clubs to participate. And we hope to raise over $1 million this year. It's very, very exciting. So you can't say anymore that, yeah, we want to do a project, but we don't have any money. We're going to make it easy for you. So that's my story. I'm passionate about doing water. I would like everybody listening to this to be passionate about it. I have a water newsletter that comes out about once a month. If you're at all interested in water, send me a message on Facebook and tell me that you're interested. I'll send you the water newsletter. And hopefully you'll join my team, or the Rotary team, or the Global Run team. It will help the less fortunate people around the world to have a better life. What more rewarding thing can you possibly do in life? Thank you. Now, I'm an old man. Now I got to find out how to turn this thing off. Yeah, there you go. Here it is. Now I can't do it. Wait a minute.